So we're gonna get started here. We put this together to kind of give a little introduction to hypnobirthing and the different ways that we're offering it. Being that it is COVID-19 and it's not going away, we have a couple different options. These coming up in the fall. Um, and, we also teach a workshop called Mindful Birth, and we are also birth doulas. Amanda was actually at a birth all day long, which was awesome. One of our moms that took our hypnobirthing course, and she did great. And so it's just really nice to also, be the hypnobirthing instructors and then also, be able to support, women and couples through the birth as well. Using all the skills that you learn, we actually are, because we are the instructors as well, using the scripts, using all of the mindfulness techniques, and all that jazz. So, we put a little PowerPoint presentation together to kind of go through hypnobirthing. And then, we also, want to answer any questions you guys might have. So, feel free to type something in the chat if you have any questions along the way. But yeah, of course, we'll leave some room at the end to have like an open discussion, answering any questions you guys might have as well. Cool. All right, so we're gonna screen share.
How will I know if anyone else is trying to get in?
I don't know.
Okay.
Gonna start from the beginning now. Slideshow. We're learning. We learn every day. New skills, whether it's PowerPoint or it's Zoom. When all of this, when we basically went into quarantine, we were in the middle of a series, a hypnobirthing series that we were teaching at Avalon Wellness Center in Morristown. And, I said to Amanda, well, you know what? I was on the to-do list to get better at Zoom. Yay for our skills. So, what I love about hypnobirthing, the Mongan method, is that it is a way to really just let the fear and anxiety go. I mean, it's through a process, it's through practice. We give a lot of tools and we teach a lot of different techniques and stuff, but really what it comes down to is what works best for you. So it's all the different tools and skills, and then you get to practice them and figure out what your way is, what's best for you. So this is obviously brought to you by the Mindful Birth Doulas. That's us. So we are sisters. I know she's blonde, doesn't, we kind of look alike, right? She went blonde on me. She was born brunette. So we were, there we are. Hey. Raised by the same midwife mother. Her name is Donna Russa. Those of you that are with the Avalon Midwives, you may have heard that name. She was actually on 2020 back in the 90s for doing water birth. So she's very famous in these parts. Avalon Midwives have been around for a couple decades now. So we were brought up with birth. We didn't know that there was so much fear and anxiety around it, because talk about babies coming out of women's vaginas was like a normal dinner time, topic.
Oh my gosh.
There was really no censor there. It was just like, and I like that, because now I get to pass that on to my daughter, who's 4.5, who likes watching babies be born. We have a video to share and we know it's a nice one, and I'll share that with her and she enjoys that. So hopefully, next generation. Our mother wishes we went to midwifery school to help her, but we prefer doulaing and hypnobirthing teaching. But yeah, so we co-founded Avalon Wellness Center, which is lovely. And if you guys get a chance to come here, you would love it. We do have chiropractor, massage therapist who they both specialize in women's health, pregnancy. We have a lactation consultant here. And there's a big yoga room that we, before COVID, we're teaching classes regularly in. So we have, kind of switched to a predominantly virtual classroom setting. But come the fall, we are going to have options for doing like semi-privates for those of you that just can't do the Zoom anymore. Right? I mean, are you with me? So we are going to have both of those options for some different classes with the Wellness Center. We are also the birth. If you have heard of our birthing center, I know I've given some of you the tour, the virtual tour of the birth center. But we are also the patient liaisons for the birth center, doing tours for them virtually now because I'm so awesome with Zoom. And, we do work closely with the birth center. So we love births in the birth center. And, but we also go to the hospital, which was it? It was June 29th. They lifted the ban for doulas. And now as long as you can show your up-to-date certification as a doula, and there's a little piece of paper that you sign or that you would sign, you can have doulas in the hospital now. So yay. We are certified doulas through DONA, which is Doulas of North America, which is actually international now. So they actually had DONA in all different countries. It's actually the oldest certifying doula organization. We love it because you know what? There's no other really doula organizations out there that make you stay up to date with your credentials. So every 3 or 4 years, I forget, you do have to show and prove that you've taken different, continuing education credits and stuff, So no one else really does that. So I guess someone else coming in. Hold on. Who's coming? Jess. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, cool. Jess is coming on. Hopefully you can hear us, Jess. Maybe. So also we are hypnobirthing childbirth educators. It should be actually HBCE, just so you know. Typo. So we are certified. Hypnobirthing is actually, something that's taught around the world. What I love about hypnobirthing is the book that, Marie Mongan wrote. We actually give that to you with the class. But a couple series ago, we had a couple who had just came here from Germany. German was their, primary language. And we were able to actually order the book in German. Like, that's cool. So anyway. And we're also registered prenatal yoga teachers, PT assistant, and I have my master's degree in elementary education, which works great for homeschooling these days. Awesome sauce. Cool.
So a little bit more about us. It's Jen's family.
I got 3 kids. They're very wild and rambunctious. But what did I think? I met I've known my husband since, kindergarten. And we were always a lot of energy, the two of us. One of my friends actually said that it's kind of like 4th of July and Mardi Gras getting married. And now we have 3 children. So life is fun, especially being quarantined with your family. So, what I love more than anything is the fact that my sister now lives about a half hour away from us, and we get to really raise our kids together. Gavin's actually at my house right now with Pop and Uncle Mike, and
that's Gavin,
her other fur baby. Frisco, fun fact about Amanda. She actually got a puppy while she was pregnant and thought that would be hunky-dory. And the puppy ended up being more work than the baby. Just in case anyone's thinking about doing this. She, trained her dog and wrote a really awesome blog on how to introduce your fur baby to your human baby. She was doing the dog training while pregnant, and so they actually taught her on what to do. So if anyone has a fur baby, we can share with you how to introduce it to your human baby.
I'm obsessed with my dog. Sorry. Okay. So our mission and where Mindful Birth was born. Okay. Our passion lies in guiding women to call back their power that they once relinquished to others and feel empowered by their choices of birth. Our goal is to support and educate families and to give moms the encouragement and to trust their instincts and birth without fear. Okay. You guys have a lot of choices, and choices that, we tend to try to make you aware of, given different circumstances that might come up during your labor and delivery. So, allowing you to be educated upon those choices and what those choices bring on, we hope that you will be empowered during your birth and feel true strength. So this was me on my Labor Day and where my birth, or mindful birth was.
Notice the
born.
Wonder Woman crown.
So my partner had left when I was 39 weeks pregnant, kind of all of a sudden, and I was planning to have a natural birth, and Jen then kind of put on her support doula sister shoes and decked out my room.
I bought the Hallmark store out
and made me have the best birth possible because she loved me and just wanted to support
Room
me
5,
through
Morristown
everything.
Medical Center. You've never seen anything like it. I brought the Christmas lights in. I had the flags hanging with all the different like mantras. We had them like different birth affirmations everywhere, lights galore. I had like this plaques and all this Mickey and Disney stuff. I mean, we had the music going, the essential oils going, and labor is labor. Amanda rocked her labor. I mean, at one point she did turn to me and say, like, how am I going to do this? And I'm like, you're just going to do it. And she did. 2 seconds after giving birth, she literally turned to me and, excuse my F-bomb, I'm so sorry. That was fucking amazing. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Like literally 2 seconds after giving birth. And I was like, well, I guess there's something to be said about all this stuff. And we really touched upon each one of the senses. And I really made her think about what her birth was going to look like. So one of the things that we love to do as these, mindful birth doulas is to manifest. We love, love, love manifesting and really thinking about how and what that's going to look like and what it's going to feel like, what it's going to smell like, what music is playing. Like I really had her sit down and think about every small little teeny detail. And I took that and I ta-da, made it happen. And so that's really kind of when and how mindful birth was born. I mean, that day, the day that my nephew was born, hearing my sister say after working her butt off, wow, that was effing amazing. And I was like, okay, then this is something to consider. So really, looking back, that was just the most magical day. And that's where it was born.
This is a gold seal for hypnobirthing. Sorry, hold on. This class is 5 classes. It's an altered state of consciousness. As long as you are willing and open, it's a sense of deep relaxation or a type of focused concentration, meditation with openness to suggestion, and a dreamlike daydream.
So some people say that, being in hypnosis is a lot like being in that kind of daydreamy state. A lot like right before you fall asleep, like into that deep sleep. Like you can kind of almost catch yourself falling asleep. Or right when you wake up and you're like, you're not really ready to get up yet. You're so relaxed. If you really needed to, you could, move your arms and your legs and get up, but you don't have to. So you just kind of lay there in that like really kind of hypnotic state. The main difference between hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and meditation is that suggestive piece, right? So it's like meditation, but also with that added suggestive piece on where exactly to go. And so with hypnobirthing, we're obviously tailoring it for the birthing aspect. We're going to, we use these different scripts that we, obviously share with everybody. We have something called the Rainbow Relaxation that we have you guys listen to on a regular basis. We have affirmations that we, have you listen to. But the scripts are very, very suggestive. So we guide you in the same, kind of way using like it's progressive and all these different ways. But then it's this other tailored suggestive piece. So you can really use hypnosis for anything, quitting smoking, losing weight, surgery, right? So the reason why I think the birthing world got wind of this is because they were using hypnosis for people who couldn't have anesthesia for medical reasons and needed to have surgery. So this was going on, and people actually having surgery. One woman even had, for medical reasons, she needed a cesarean, couldn't have anesthesia, and ended up having, using hypnosis, a cesarean birth. So hypnobirthing got wind of that. And Marie Mongan, she obviously is our founder, had some babies in the 50s. And, I don't know if you've ever heard of twilight births, but her first couple births, she would get to like the crowning point, and then they would anesthetize her and almost knock her out. And she would birth her baby. Usually they use forceps. And then after the birth, they would return your baby, and they would say, oh, don't mind those nicks there. And you wouldn't remember these births. And so the third time she went into her doctor, she's like, look, I told you the last 2 times, this is how we're doing this. And if you can't respect that, I'm going to have to go somewhere else. And the doctor was like, fine, Marie. And she ended up having a natural birth. And in the 50s, this is just really unheard of. It was a really sad time for birth. If you guys have heard anything about it. And so she went on to she has 4 children, had 4 children. She passed away last year. So our second 2 births were natural. And come when her daughter was time to have her first baby, is when she really kind of put this program together, this hypnobirthing. She taught in a series of classes. Her friend, her daughter's friend, was having a baby as well, so it was a couple. And her daughter went on to have the first hypnobirth. So it was really, a labor of love. So hypnosis, a hypnotized person is not unconscious or asleep, submissive to another's will, in an eerie trance-like state, prone to reveal confidential information. My son, because he knows, like we teach hypnobirthing and do hypnosis, and he won't let me do any scripts with him because he thinks he's 10. What secrets do you have, buddy? Come on. Lost the memory. I can tell you right now that you do remember, and you know exactly where you are, but you're just in a really relaxed state. And women that are doing this, oh, it's so amazing. A hypnotized person is totally conscious, a consenting participant, fully in control, comfortably relaxed, aware of surroundings and what is happening, and remembers everything. Yeah. I mean, you're in a learning state. I mean, you're very aware, what's going on, but you're such in this, deep, relaxed state that all the muscles in the body are just really kind of melting in, and the uterus is able to do what it needs to do. I mean, as far as your body's concerned, it's just that one muscle working, over and over and over. So we say in hypnobirthing, we change language a lot. So as opposed to saying contraction, we actually use the word surge, right? You're having a contraction. Well, a contraction is the tightening of a muscle. But here, and this is where it gets tricky. So your uterus is doing the contracting, but the rest of your body, every other muscle, you're supposed to release and relax. This is not easy. This is why we say, this is a beautiful course, but the practice, the real work is done at home. We give you the tools and we say, okay, here's your homework. What is hypnobirthing? You know what I mean?
Sure. It's a rewarding, relaxing, and stress-free method of birthing. Again, it's a 5-class series. It's usually 2.5 hours. We usually go from 7 to 9:30 is usually our typical times. It's a philosophy as much as it is a technique, right? So it's more than just doing these tools. It's practicing them over and over again. So that way, when it comes to the day of your birthing, you're snapping it right on and you know what's already going to work for you. A program that respects the fact that the bodies of healthy pregnant women instinctively know how to birth their healthy babies.
Right. We're not here to teach you how to birth your baby that your body made. Mm-hmm. We're here to let you know that the instincts that you were born with, let's turn them way up.
Right.
Because that's what matters here. You should not be told, right? And put on a list and coached and
schedule.
Call back your power.
Mm-hmm. It's a knowing that when a mother is properly prepared for birthing, physically, mentally, and spiritually, she can experience a sense of joy with birthing her baby in an easier and more comfortable and often even pain-free manner. Okay. So the hypnobirthing philosophy. Birth is natural, normal, and healthy. right? It's not a
Amen.
medical experience.
And yay for science, right? We love science. I have 2 IVF babies. I'm very happy with science. But when it comes to birth, when it comes to a woman's body, baby in optimal birthing position, right? There's nothing, there's no blip saying that, you know, oh, this is a high risk for this reason, right? It's low risk. You're doing everything you need to do. Sorry.
Birth has a natural rhythm and flow. All right. So it has a natural rhythm where it comes in and waves and comes out. When a healthy woman carrying a healthy baby, experiencing a healthy labor, trusts birth, she can be free of fear and is appropriate, relaxed, and her body will function normally without pain or incident.
Amen.
Okay, Marie Mongan, like we said, she was the founder of hypnobirthing. It's recognized worldwide. It's really big in Australia. Most moms
England.
in Australia are giving birth in birthing centers or at home and
Same thing with England.
practicing with this hypnobirthing technique.
We've really medicalized birth here in the
Mhm.
States, and it's pretty sad, some of the statistics that we have coming out.
It's been around for over 30 years in 45 different countries, right? The Gold Seal educators for hypnobirthing. It's being implemented into hospitals and their antenatal educational programs that they have as well. Again, the gold standard of childbirth education, because we really go over childbirth education, you know, the stages of labor, along with all of this, you know, the hypnotherapy
It's all
section of
intertwined,
everything,
yeah.
everything we go through. Protects and promotes and supports natural birth, but most importantly, positive birth and any method of birth, right? So, you know, again, science, we love it. You know, if you needed it, you know, if you needed
Right.
it or wanted.
There's reasons, there's medical reasons why some women need to be induced. And that's great that we have all that stuff to help that happen. Some women need to have their babies born via cesarean section. Amazing that we have that. But when we abuse those things,
Right.
that's when we got a little problem.
Right. And again, you still have choices within those boundaries. So, it's a method with key strategies to reduce the use of unnecessary medical interventions, he said. A format that has been proven to condition the mother's mind and body in preparation for birth, right? We're really working with your body and learning breathing techniques along with spiritually changing your mindset of, you know, where all of this fear kind of came in from. A program with research results and success behind it, right? We've seen these births, we've seen these moms breathe their babies out, and
we show them in our classes.
And they're real. They are real. Working closely with hospitals and birth professionals and how to better support a hypnobirth, right? We still need to do some more teaching and education. A program that educates and empowers birth companions to properly support a birthing mother and advocate for mom and baby, right? Even if you have a support person in there with you, you know, you guys are the ones that are the gorillas in the room. You guys are the protectors.
Yeah.
You're there to advocate for mom when maybe she can't really make, you know, that call, and, you know, maybe isn't fully aware because she's so into her birthing body, or
and you see the
other
things
baby's vitals
vitals and mom's vitals are fine, and they're like,
Right.
we're gonna go ahead and do this, and you're like, you shall not pass. So we really teach you the ways to communicate with providers so that it isn't a conflict. You feel good about asking the right questions and how to ask the questions and pull information out. And so that, you know, you create the space that you need to then make the right decisions.
Right. And we also really try to educate, you know, the partners and everything too, to make sure that they have some sort of insight of what mom might want, especially going through the class, you know, what ways are going to make her feel comfortable, and you guys working as a team and what that means, and things she might need that you can easily do, even when, you know, the kind of, you know, when birth kind of does start to happen, we kind of get all frantic as well as partners, and we get excited. So
bring me your baby.
So we would just want to make sure that we're educating you as well to make sure that you're supporting your partner as best as possible. So this is the course outline. So in our first class is really the intro to hypnobirthing. Again, where the fear kind of comes from, you know, when we first learned about this fear, and how we really can start to shift that mindset and, you know, starting to put that bubble around us of just positive stories and positive affirmations. You know, and again, just kind of allowing you to remember again that our bodies were made to give birth. We were the only ones given a uterus to birth a baby. So our bodies know how to grow that baby, okay? And our bodies know how to birth that baby. So again, just kind of giving you that confidence again to, you know, reassure you that you got this. In section 2, we really start about where learning begins with our babies, and you know, they can hear everything that's going on. They know the environment that they're coming into. So what does that kind of look like? So we kind of, again, just kind of shifting your mind frame of, you know, what that environment might need, and maybe there needs to be a change, or maybe there doesn't. Maybe everything's good. And you know, a lot of times we get second, third, fourth time moms, and it's like, I haven't even thought about this baby, you know? So really just making sure that we're kind of, you know, bonding with our babies, and how to create that environment. In class 3, we do a lot of visualization techniques, anchoring tools, to kind of strengthen mom's ability to go in and out of her birthing body and deepen that relaxation through the self-hypnosis techniques that we go through that class. Class 4, we do even more with our breath work. We do introduce the breath in class 1 as well, and just kind of getting you geared to start practicing that as soon as
when
possible.
and where to practice each of the breaths that we teach.
So we dive in more of that in class 4 and go through postures and movements to bring baby into optimal birthing position, to alleviate any type of discomforts mom might be having, and also how the partner can kind of support mom during that time. And we then do a fear release script, which is really a big component of hypnobirthing. As we draw near our expected time, you know, a lot of, again, those anxieties, those thoughts come creeping in again, and it's really, you know, about you releasing those fears, and, you know, fears that maybe you didn't know your partner had, and, you know, and we kind of do a little bit of a assignment that you guys can kind of do together to make sure you're on the same page, right? What's important here and what's not.
What can you together just kind of work out and before you even
knew the other, it was, and it was there, right? So again, just working through the fear release as well to kind of just alleviate any of that. And you get to see your birthing experience and what that looks like. I know that script was really powerful for me, and I got to see my son before I'd even had him. So it was really, really powerful. Session 5, we go through more of what labor looks like, you know, some tricksters. We kind of are aware of any type of special circumstances, the stages of labor, how to time those surges, what the birth hour is, some breastfeeding tips and whatnot. And then we usually open it up for questions and answers.
We do a lot of breastfeeding talk, but we really, I think in this class too, is go really heavy and hard on the breath, the birth breath, and what that looks like to breathe your baby out, and ways to really communicate with your providers, or actually block them out, because they're going to tell you to push. And it's language. That's all we're talking about. You're going to be doing probably the same thing, but using the breath just makes for a really much more gentle birth, and really how to be patient and feel that urge, and ways to practice, you know, on an ongoing basis before it's time, the birthday.
What you get from the course, right? So we provide you with a book, which I Amazon order and deliver right to your doorstep.
Yay!
We give out the link to handout.
We have like a booklet. You know, if we were all meeting at Avalon Wellness Center, you'd be able to give it to you, and then we would collect it at the end. So here, because what's going on in the world? We give you a downloadable link, so that way you can print it or just have it electronically.
We open up a private Facebook group for everyone
for each class
series. So that way you guys can ask whatever questions you might have as you're kind of going through that series together.
And connect with each other, and then share your birth stories. We love like seeing this now that we've started doing this, you know, for each of our classes that we started doing through COVID. We were like, how can we still have everyone feel connected and feel like they're a part of a village? Because this is really what's most important to us. You know, and this is what we came up with, and just kind of everyone being able to communicate, like everyone just still becomes friends. It's so nice. And it's in this really intimate, private, group where you can be vulnerable and you can ask the questions and you can share things that maybe you wouldn't on social media with like the whole world looking at you, so.
Jen and I are also available if you guys need more help throughout the course. So if
At
you,
any time, we always offer this, most people don't take us up on this. It's funny because honestly, if you are struggling with something, or maybe you needed a repeat for like that fear release, something else came up and we had just done the fear release script, we would love to work with anyone one-on-one, that's going through our classes and stuff. So really at any point, anyone can reach out and really get us, it's what we do. We love it.
Again, we strive to create a village that's a safe space for our families and to thrive in, one where they feel supported and safe and confident in their birthing bodies, and they can trust their instincts and birth without fear. The benefits of hypnobirthing, okay? It eliminates fear, tension, pain syndrome. So we work through, again, discovering what those fears are and being able to release them so that you feel less pain. Hypnobirthing helps reduce and often eliminate the need for any type of interventions. I know some of you too are also interested in the birth center. So again, there aren't really any interventions there. So we want to make sure that you have all of the tools in your toolbox. That way you can completely eliminate all of those needs for that. You'll feel more energized at the end of your birth. Okay, it lessens the fatigue and the duration of the labor.
I was ready to run a marathon after my hypnobirth. I would want to get up, like, you just sit down. I'm like, nah. Oh, victory laps.
So it shortens the thinning and opening phase of labor by several hours. It's the early stage of labor where you're fully dilating.
So everything up until 10 centimeters is the thinning and opening phase, right? That would be considered the first stage of labor. Second stage is the birth.
Reduces the risk of pelvic floor damage.
Amen. Try jumping on a trampoline and peeing on yourself. Not so fun. 3 kids.
And through hypnobirthing, birthing is returned to the safe and beautiful, peaceful experience that nature once intended. Okay. So, it sounds kind of cheesy sometimes, but really just restoring that, birth is natural, it's normal, and our bodies were made to give birth.
It's primal, it's instinctual. Like, where did we along the way just cut that off? It's really sad and create so much fear around it. Like the movies and the stories, like, what is up with, oh, you're pregnant? Let me tell you my horror story. Cut that off. Don't listen, you don't have to.
Some outcomes that are supported by evidence through hypnobirthing: fewer interventions and belly births, fewer cases of preeclampsia and dehydration throughout, because again, we're coaching those partners to make sure that you're hydrating those moms through labor. Decreased use of Pitocin, right? Less use for interventions, not needing it. Shorter first and second phases of labors. Few preterm and low weight babies. Lessened or eliminated need for anesthesia. Okay, not needing to. Happier and content mothers and babies. A lot of times these babies come out and they ain't crying. They're just like chilling, happy. They're so happy, more alert, ready to breastfeed. Yeah, it's crazy. Again, babies are alert and ready to nurse. Fewer cases of postpartum depression reported because we already are creating that connection, right? You're bonding with your babies. Infants are with higher than average APGAR scores.
Right. Okay. Our thoughts create a reality, and where we put our focus is the direction we tend to go in. And I said it already, we love using our thoughts to create our reality. We love that manifesting, right? We can manifest. We do all day long. We manifest good, we manifest bad, right? The mom that cycles through her mind, oh, I'm probably gonna have a C-section like my friend. Oh, like my friend, I'm probably gonna have that. My friend will have that. My sister had one. And then they end up having that, right? Or the mom that cuts that off and is like, I'm going to have the most amazing birth ever. I am going to cherish every second. I cannot wait to meet my baby, and I'm going to have a natural vaginal birth. I mean, these are two conflicting thoughts. One will win. You cannot have the good and the bad one. So here we're trying to empty out every night. This is what the rainbow relaxation is, kind of empty out all those worries and fears, all the things from the day. Listen to that, get relaxed. Fill you up, whether it's listening to the affirmations, looking at affirmations, listening to positive nightly birth stories on podcasts and whatnot. We give a lot of these resources. We're like in our classes, we're watching positive birth stories. We're filling you up with all the good stuff. And if that mom can do it, why can't you do it? Right? This isn't something that we made up. This isn't like fairy tale land. So, that's what we're striving for here. The dream. We're dream makers. We like. Right. The words we say matter. Each word creates a thought. Each thought creates a chemical reaction in our body, which creates a feeling, which creates a reaction, good or bad. So
these are just some testimonials from our other moms that took our classes, right? Just even during the pandemic. This is from Ria and Charlie, and this one's from Stephanie and Jacqueline. Hypnobirthing classes provided by Jen and Amanda were wonderful. They both had such a calm and empowering presence, even over Zoom, that helped me feel confident and prepared for labor. Even though I had researched hypnobirthing on my own, I believe that having that extra support and meeting other families in the same scenario helped us prepare fully and get more into saying the scripts, performing the exercises, and practicing the breathing and visualizations together as a couple. Okay. These are moms that too, they went on to have, their dream births. So your next steps, right? We are offering, obviously upcoming in Zoom series, hypnobirthing classes. Our next one is starting on August 27th. I know some of your moms are a little bit early on still too. We're also offering October, November series, and January series.
that might cover, right, Anna? Is that Anna's 9 weeks? Yeah.
Yep.
I think you're March, right? That was March. Yep.
Yeah. We're also then having a semi-private. We're having at least up to 4 couples.
We've only put because this is new, and we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see how people feel. I know some people are like, I cannot do Zoom anymore. So we want to really provide a way where we feel comfortable, right? Because we have a big space here, but I don't feel comfortable putting like 7 couples in one little space. So we can safely put, I think, 4 couples in each of the quadrants of the room. Maybe the instructor in the middle. We're not sure how to work it out still, but hopefully that will ease anyone's, worries about, being in that space together. It is going to be 3 days, 3 Sundays, but it is gonna be all 5 sessions. So the first day is gonna be just the 2.5, each session is 2.5 hours. So the first day is just gonna be the introduction. And then the second 2 days are gonna be the morning, and then the afternoon session is gonna be, the class 2, class 3, and then class 4 and class 5 with a little break in between for lunch. So yes, that's why it's on the weekend.
So we're offering it for September and October.
So because they are semi-privates, they are a little bit more money, but I think it's worth it if we can actually be, live. That's what we're thinking. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you guys need any of these dates still?
Well, I think what I'm going to do, I actually have that in our calendar that I just put everything in so it's mindfulbirth.com. If you guys haven't visited yet, I'm going to give you guys a follow-up email to this Zoom, and it's going to have all the dates, and it's going to have like links and stuff on how to register and whatnot, and we'll kind of just in a clean little email, the details on how and when, things are going down. Do you want to stop recording anything else? Sure. Question. Or pause it. Stop it.